Ladies and gentlemen, may I direct your attention to something?
Chris, the Herons are back. Welcome, everybody, to episode number 147 of the Battered Herons podcast. I am your host, Daniel Granada, and alongside me, as always, is Mr. KBD. How are you doing, sir?
This is going to be a fun weekend. Are you kidding me? Playing against Old Town? Bring them on, baby.
And shout out to Stancy. The Herons are back. Pablo Gonzalo. Golazo. Will the Herons be back tonight? The Herons are back tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow also. We're talking about Orlando, so it's going to be a fun week, fun weekend, and just a lot of stuff going on. And shout out to Joe Kerr catching us live all the way from Budapest. That's a long ways away. I wonder what the time is over there. Yeah, let us know what time it is over there, Joe. I'm curious. You must be up. It might be the morning time already. So shout out to Joe for joining us all the way from over there. And it's always fun when he joins us. And shout out to everybody that's joining the chat live now. So
much appreciated.
A lot of fun stuff happening. It's a big week, right? It's rivalry week. Florida es rosa y negro. So I got my shirt ready. I'm ready for the weekend. Big game coming up. But we are going to start with we teased it last time, right? So we wanted to talk about something real quick. Not a big deal. I thought it was kind of funny that I've seen a couple of people just randomly comment on it. So I just wanted to touch on this real quick. All right. So no, not that. So episode 145 was last Wednesday.
A little pow.
No, it's not a pow. Don't say that. It's episode 145. We had a guest on. He was oh my God, I'm blanking on his name. I believe it was Alex. I forgot his last name.
Yes.
I forgot his last name. But he was a nice guy. He joined us to preview the LA Galaxy game. Now, we really appreciate all our guests. We don't pay them, right? They do us the favor of jumping on here. And before they ever get on here, we always let them know that they're going to have a really good time because we don't take ourselves too seriously and the chat is really fun. So you're going to have a great time while you're with us. And that's what we tell everybody before they jump on the show. Now, episode 145 was a little different. Okay. We appreciate you guys, and we always say you guys are the best part of the show. But we've gotten used to you guys being playful, but you guys were, a
little strong,
a little disrespectful,
a little strong
to our guest that day, to the point where some of you guys were hitting us with some of those super chats, or as Chris calls them, super slams. But they were kind of disrespectful, and I didn't put them up on screen. Now the thing is, guys, that our guests are doing us a favor by joining us. And then on top of that, they can see the comments as they're popping up. So not only I'm not putting them on screen, but they can still see them. So I felt really bad for the kid because he was really nice to join us and to preview LA Galaxy. And we really hope that you guys keep having fun with us. But when we have a guest on, we don't want them to be disrespected. We want them to have a good time. And I even saw some of the people in the chat calling out others as to why they were going a little hard in the paint. So we're hoping that, you guys continue to have fun and welcome our guests and have fun with the guests, but we don't want the guests to feel disrespected. So we just wanted to address that because we want to keep having fun with you guys. But if we could just keep the disrespectful level down, a little lower, because, there was some stuff that was just uncalled for, and I don't even know where it came from.
Well, and I just want to mention, because Stancy is mentioning I'm too poor to give super chats, so I'm safe. And we typically put everybody's comment up, especially with some of the playful guests. Right, we'll have them come on and we'll put up these the funny chats, the funny comments, and whether it's I am fully fair game.
No, and to be clear, you can clown on us all the time. We don't care.
Yes, we don't take it so seriously.
I think Chris and I insult each other more than anybody else insults us. So we're all good. We're just saying for our guests, we don't pay them to come on here. They just do it out of the just to help us out. So we appreciate them. And for the most part, you guys are pretty playful and they have a good time. But on 145, you guys were being a little disrespectful. So,
and I just want to mention, I just want to mention again, super chats or not, like we always try to put your comments up, and a lot of the guests are very playful. They accept it. They kind of okay, that's just a nice little fun comment. But it did get to a point where it escalated. Look. It's fun until it's not fun anymore. Like I saw the comments,
disrespectful. Yeah,
I saw the comments, guys, and I was hesitant to bring them up, and I laugh. I get lost in the quicksand of what the chat is, but at the same time, it was crazy. I was looking at it like, I don't want to bring these things up. Are you kidding me?
Again, we don't want to sidetrack today's show, but we did want to just touch on that because tomorrow we will have another guest. It's going to be
another Alex.
Alex, yes, another Alex from the Lions Den. He's an Orlando fan. So even though he's an Orlando fan, we still want you guys to be respectful, playful, but don't be disrespectful. And unless it's Tommy One Time. If Tommy One Time comes on, you can 145 his ass all you want. So
we'll call it out. Well, I mean, if it gets to a point where it's Tommy One Timer, like we just see it's getting to that point. It's like Danny. I think
Justin Blair, I think, is fair game also.
Yeah, we'll just 145 this guy, and that's it, and then you guys can just go ham on the chat. Now, I don't want and listen, Mike V, keep those wish comparisons because I still want a couple at least. But when it gets to a point where, like, there was some other extra comments, we can get away from that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that you guys know when you're being disrespectful.
Unless it's Tommy One Time, and we'll 145 his ass. Let's go.
All right, 3 a.m. in France. Walid, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it, and we won't keep sidetracking the show with that. We just wanted to address that because we felt it was necessary because we do want our guests to have a good time as much as we do here. All right, so one thing that we didn't touch on last time that Chris wanted to and he was dying to bring up, so I figured I'd give him his space to talk about it. Phil Neville, the old gaffer, went off to Portland, took Kamal Miller with him, and he had a pretty nice showing. Coach of the week on the team of the week. What did you think of Phil Neville this weekend, Chris?
I mean, he dominated.
Mm-hmm.
He dominated. Guys, this is ill Phil we're talking about. I've been told you guys that ill Phil is ill with it. We lost a tremendous coach.
All right. And now with that, I am still going to stand by what I said. I always told you that Phil Neville did a better job than what people gave him credit for. I don't think he gets enough credit for what he did in 2022 when they made the playoffs. He changed the way they played and tactically as soon as we got Pozuelo, right?
Yes.
That was all Phil Neville. He's the one that benched Higuain and then lit a fire under his ass and then got him going towards the end of the season. I don't think Phil Neville gets enough credit for that. But when you have two separate 6-game losing streaks in one season, I'm sorry, you got to go. Not because you're a poor coach and I don't believe that you could eventually fix it, but because there needs to be some type of change in the room. So I don't think that it was a bad move by letting him go. I thought it was necessary, but I good luck to him. I always thought that he was a class act, and I appreciate him, but now he had to go, and I don't think that it was the wrong move to let him go.
And Battered Heron, yes, I do wave at him. Okay, he's the only coach that's going to get the wave from me. And Pablo Golazo, thank you for the super slam with your Jesus picture. Really enjoying the Discord. Guys, if you haven't jumped on the Discord yet, like follow Pablo Golazo here. Jump on the Discord, hang out with the gang. It's a blast in there. We always try to jump in as often as we can. And Jason is mentioning that Phil would be doing better now than Tata with the players we have now. That's interesting. What do you think? Do you think that Phil would do? I mean, obviously everybody's going to say no because Tata is like this world-renowned coach, Gabber. But
no, for the record, I put the link to the Discord in the chat, and I'll put it in the description if you're watching this not live. No, look, do you think Tata's doing a great job right now?
I think that he is doing okay. I don't think he's doing that great in terms of minute management. And I don't think that he's doing that great in terms of putting some players on the field that I don't think need to be in those positions. I mean, you have Noah Allen playing center back. You have Gressel playing.
But Noah Allen hasn't looked that bad when he's
he hasn't.
Okay,
he's skilled. He's skilled. Right. So, I mean, but that's what you get when you have skilled players. You can move them around like Robert Taylor. You can put him all over the place. He's not going to look bad, but like that's not his true position. Same thing with Gressel. Gressel, I don't even know what his position is. Like,
Gressel's a right wing back.
I mean, is he though?
He is. That's what he does. That's where he's looked the best.
I mean, I don't know what to do with that. I mean, McVay last year we had him playing left back.
Look, Phil Neville. Look, I got me saying Phil Neville. Yeah, Tata has stuck to his possession. That's what his priority is. Keep possession, work the ball up, and I think that he's still trying to build that. Now, he doesn't have necessarily the players to do that with just yet, but once Redondo comes, if Busquets gets healthy, right? Because if you want, we can talk about Busquets in a bit with his ankle, right? Because everybody's talking about his ankle. And then Gomez in the midfield, and then you have Fray. My understanding is he's not a great ball distributor, but if you get somebody like Noah Allen, Toto Aviles is still doing pretty well distributing the ball. Maybe this ends up working out. I think that people said that we were too quick to give up on Phil Neville, even though 2 6-7 game losing streaks I think was more than enough. I think people are too quick to give up on Tata. I think it's only 2 games into the regular season.
I think it sort of comes with the territory, his stature, his experience, his bona fides, if you will. And so I think people have higher expectations. And then on top of that, you're coupling him with Messi, Busquets, and Alba. So everybody's expecting us to form like Voltron and destroy everyone by 5 goals. But obviously it takes a whole unit to be able to work together. So, and Mr. Krabs is chiming in saying, would Phil Neville have also brought these guys into Miami as got? Don't think so. I mean, look, maybe Tata was a part of the whole, plan, the Voltron plan, but I mean, who knows? I'm pretty sure he was. I'm not saying he wasn't.
Look, Tata has brought some South Americans that are young, like that are underrated. Who did Phil Neville? The thing is, I don't think Phil Neville necessarily brought anyone outside of his son. I think that was all Chris Henderson. I think Tata's had more of a hand in bringing in some of these South American players. Toto Aviles, I still think have high hopes for him. Diego Gomez, I know he's some people are on the fence with him. I think he's going to be good. Facundo Farias, injured, I know sucks, but I think that he had the potential to be good. Redondo, I think that Tata has brought a lot more, obviously everybody's saying Argentinian, but South American overall influence into the players coming in. And that's what I always wanted. I wanted the MLS overall and Inter Miami to be a bridge for young players in South America to get to Europe. If the MLS can become that, the MLS will be a top league, not top 5, but top 10 for sure in the maybe next 10 years, if we can be that middle ground between South America and Europe. And Tata is bringing those young guys to this team, and I think we're going to benefit from that. We're going to benefit from it on the pitch, and whenever it comes to them moving to Europe, we're going to be selling those players for a nice amount. So I think we're going to benefit from that in many ways.
Well, and not only that, but I think now that we're now that we signed Federico Redondo, which I think is going to be our next topic. I guess we can be able to sort of fold over into the next one with Redondo talk. Finally, he's signed, sealed, delivered. And
he's still having visa issues. He's still waiting on his visa.
I mean, when we get him and he starts to play, that's when we're going to be able to see really what this is going to develop into. Because, I mean, somebody mentioned up at the top hot take, and I had the comment up. Battered Herons mentioned we're going to do better without biscuits.
Who the hell's biscuits?
Busquets.
Well done, Battered Herons. I had never heard that before.
That was a good one.
Yeah, I'm glad that you told me. I would have never gotten that. All right. We're going to do better without Busquets? No, I don't think we're going to do better without Busquets. I think Busquets playing a more attacking role where you have Redondo playing that true CDM role and then letting Busquets go ahead, be more in the attacking, linking up play between whether it be Messi, Robert Taylor, Suarez. I think that Busquets is going to do really well up there. So I still want Busquets to be here. I just want him to rid himself of all those defensive responsibilities. I want Diego Gomez and Redondo to be those defensive mind guys. Busquets had a lot more success last season because he had Arroyo next to him just about every game, covering his ass defensively. Now, I get a lot of people say double pivot, but then that means that Busquets is still technically back there. I want Busquets to be more attacking. Yes. I get it. I get that it's really cute to say double pivot, and I understand why. I personally like a double pivot, but with Busquets, don't give me a double pivot unless it's Gomez. If you tell me that the 2 CDMs are going to be Diego Gomez and Redondo, which I don't think that would work, but if you tell me that, that's fine. But I want Busquets to have the freedom to roam up top and be more attack minded.
I wonder if people would, because people are mentioning here that Diego Gomez, Busquets, and Redondo are going to be solid midfield.
I agree.
I wonder if people would have actually considered if Gregory would have been better
No,
for the team instead of Diego Gomez.
no.
And Marasovic is mentioning Busquets as an 8.
That's exactly what I want.
Yeah, yeah. But he's still injured. I mean, you could tell that he's not playing right, Pythias, for
Do you
sure.
think? I guess I don't know. Maybe.
But then look at this. Tank is mentioning he likes it when Boosie drops back as a third center back. So what do we want? What do we want?
Not me.
We want him back. We want him up.
No, don't take Tank seriously. We have Tank. We have an issue with
get
you.
Out of here.
Until you stop criticizing Drake Callender, I don't take any of your suggestions seriously.
Yeah,
Busquets cannot drop back as a third center back. Busquets should have no defensive responsibilities, and Drake Callender is the best goalie in the league. All right. Go ahead.
And the good thing is that Busquets, if he does drop back, he is a really good passer from long range. So
his vertical passing, Redondo supposedly is great with the vertical passing also. Redondo's constantly passing the ball into the final third. Oof. So 100%.
This right here. I mean, look, listen. Franco Panizo had an update earlier today. If you guys haven't checked it out.
All right, Tank, I'm with you there.
Yeah. And Franco had an update earlier today that had me worked up in all ways, shapes, and forms about Ian Fray. I can't wait to see that kid. Danny and I were having a discussion earlier, sort of like a pregame to the pregame about Ian Fray, which I don't know if we're gonna stick to Redondo at this moment, but
no, I mean, I feel like we've said just about everything. And then I want to fight Tank. I'm gonna fight this guy.
Oh my god,
he's not the best goalie in Florida. Oh my god.
Who's the best goalie in Florida, bro?
You know who's going to say, pull down your skirt. Your Peruvian is showing, Tank. All right. You know
You're awful. Say.
You're
absolutely
awful.
Tank.
Awful. All right. So go ahead. Let's jump over to Ian Fray.
So Ian Fray, come on, Stancy. Come on, Stancy. Don't gas him up. I'm not even going to read that comment. I don't want the audio people to know what we're talking about. No. Oh my God. And Dos Santos just doubles down, Tank, with Dos Santos. No pun intended. Doubling down. Dos Santos. So, yes, Sean Fray as our CDM is the wet dream. Oh my goodness. I was talking to Danny earlier. Yeah, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, I was just going to say that with Redondo, a double pivot of Redondo and Ian Fray. Oh, because Redondo has to be our 6. He has to be our CDM because he's good on the defending, but he's even better on the attack when it comes to those vertical passes. So having him back there with Ian Fray, that would be a dream.
It would, man. And then on top of that, remember how, we were talking a little bit earlier about if Aviles was to play next to Ian Fray as center backs. Because, I mean, we started seeing that Ian Fray got comfortable moving up a little bit more. But if we were to have like a center back tandem of Ian Fray and Toto Aviles, those two guys, I mean, those guys, in my opinion, could be the future. But as we talked a little bit about earlier, he did have 3 major injuries. And, the question at this point is, will he be able to sustain sort of a healthy future without getting, re-injured? Hopefully that doesn't happen.
3 ACL tears in, I think it was 3 years. If anybody in the chat can correct me if I'm wrong, that's rough. I mean, I'm still holding out hope that he can play through that, but unfortunately, I mean, as a fan of the team, I wouldn't necessarily put all my eggs in that basket. So, and Vice City Lucas here hitting us with some news. I haven't seen anything about this, but he's saying apparently Inter not one of the 8 teams playing in the U.S. Open Cup. I know Danny's happy. This is the first I hear about something like that. If that's the case, I mean, let me be clear. I don't like
AC Rebellion is llorando right now because of that. So you just lost your Open Cup opportunity there, Rebellion.
I don't like the Open Cup, but to be clear, if they allow for the whole B team to just play all the time, like I don't care if they're in it. I just don't want our regular starters playing in that crap. But I mean, I don't care if it's like I don't know who, Borgelin, I can't think of anybody off the top of my head. You know, you got
I mean, you'll have like
I'm
Ascona come in
blanking.
after he leaves
Ascona's
his
not with us
USL
anymore.
team. Yeah, I know, but like you'll
He's
have
Vegas.
like you'll have Yannick Brightline.
Yeah, it's
You'll
like
have
so.
him
Like
come in.
if we're allowed to just run those guys out,
Yeah.
I don't care. Like I'm okay. I probably won't. Yeah, I'm okay with it. I don't care.
I mean,
Sunderland.
but
There we go.
yeah, Sunderland. But Sunderland, the way that he's been playing, I've seen him connect passes lately that I'm just like, oof, that kid's good.
Well,
That
there
kid's
was
good.
one when we went into the Real Salt Lake game where he went.
Oh.
It went through like a million people. Like I don't know
Oh.
how it got through to Messi,
Oh.
but that was a
kid's
sexy
player.
pass. Yeah.
That kid's a player.
All right, but so yeah.
And yeah, Lucas is mentioning that we just have to focus all in one CONCACAF champion, which is great. You know, putting your focus all on that. US Open Cup. I mean, look, is it nice to win that? I guess Danny doesn't really care, and Mitch, yes, he is actually a baller. Tony Axe is mentioning.
I
Yeah,
was just about to ask Lucas this, but I guess Tony Axe jumped the gun and answered it for me. So I appreciate you, Tony. I think he just named the 8 teams that were expected to play: Seattle Sounders, LAFC, Houston, Atlanta, RSL, Dallas, Kansas City, and San Jose. Yeah. So apparently those are the 8 teams that will be playing in the US Open Cup. I am not sure how those 8 teams were selected. But maybe they're not. None of those teams are playing in the Champions Cup, I would assume. So maybe that has something to do with the selection.
Probably, yeah. I mean,
well, I'm not losing any sleep over it. I'm not a fan of that tournament. I think that tournament's stupid.
Well, the Wolf of Brooklyn is mentioning Suarez is scoring next game. You know, put the house on that, Wolf.
Well, a shout out to Wolf of Brooklyn just for the name. I like that. Was this the first time Wolf of Brooklyn joins us? If it is, I think
so.
Yeah, I would. That name would have stood out to me. Shout out to Wolf of Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn myself, so I like that. So this wasn't a part of the show, but US Open Cup. I guess Inter Miami will not be participating in that. So we get to focus in on Champions Cup, the regular season, and the MLS Cup, and then Leagues Cup in August. So. All right, that sounds good to me.
And, I'm totally good with that. And now Kremaki was also seen training and stuff like that. So are you guys looking forward to Kremaki making the comeback? Yeah, Ian Fray was lighter work. Kremaki was not as light from what I saw, but I think everybody's going to be looking forward to Kremaki coming back, even though in reality, it looked like he was dipping a little bit as David Ruiz was sort of rising. So, I mean, listen, I got nothing but good things to say about David Ruiz. I mean, Kremaki got injured. That kind of sucks. But right now, David Ruiz is coming for that ass.
Well, I think it's David Ruiz's spot to lose at this point, right?
Yeah.
Kremaki comes back. He has to earn that somehow because I think David Ruiz has now overtaken him in the depth chart.
Oh, my goodness. And GFR is mentioning red card next game. For sure. And I think he's talking about Suarez. Oof. I don't know. He's been pretty. He hasn't been aggressive or anything like that.
No. And then last game, I mean, the ball just never got in that final third. So it was hard for him. He needs a little service. He needs the ball to be in that final third for him to do something. It was rarely ever up there. Yeah,
at least we have Spicy Messi to look forward to coming back against Orlando by hand.
I love Spicy Messi. Spicy Messi is my favorite Messi, and we got introduced to Spicy Messi in the first Orlando game in Leagues Cup last year. We got a little taste of Spicy Messi. It was like a teaser this past week against the Galaxy, which, by the way, the guy that he was getting into it, there was a picture of him and Messi getting into it on the newspaper, and he started posting a picture of it on his Instagram because he was so proud of it. So, look, I wouldn't be surprised if more people try to mess with Messi after that.
Yeah, most definitely. Right. I mean, I think it's a thing. No, I mean, at this point, it's like a MLS thing. Like, we're gonna bully you because you're not used to this, you know. So,
when we go out to the game on Saturday, now I don't know who had seen this, but apparently Chase Stadium has a loyalty program. They have like little kiosks where you go and then you like check in to say that you were there. And then the more games that you attend, the more that you get like benefits and gifts. I don't know what exactly it is. So I just want to, I don't know I should have looked into it. Maybe I'll find out tomorrow more details about it. But the reason I wanted to bring it up is so I wouldn't, one, forget to tell you guys. And two, make sure that when you go, especially if you're a season ticket holder, make sure you're looking out for these Chase little loyalty program kiosks, and make sure that you go ahead and then you check in, however it is that you check in. My understanding is through Ticketmaster. You check in and then you keep checking in every time you go so that you can get whatever benefits come with that.
Oh, and Vice City Lucas is mentioning, I guess maybe this could be a benefit, but he's mentioning something on the side note. Food has been a downgrade this season so far. Listen, I think it's criminal that they moved the Mexican food truck. That's number one, right? Number two, they moved the arepa food truck. That's also criminal. Yeah, and Pablo Golazo saying 25 visits and you get the email survey. I remember when they first were sending the email surveys, they're like, oh, we'll give you free tickets or some free thing. Now they don't even offer that on their email survey. You just do a survey just to do a survey.
Joker's asking if you got your Publix pregame party tickets.
What the hell is that?
I did not. I've heard about it. Nobody sent me any email. I'm surprised because you and your ticket rep are like best friends. But I did not receive an email about this.
You got the same ticket rep.
Yeah, but he likes you. He doesn't like me, apparently. I didn't receive any email. I've heard some people talking about it, but I have no way to get a ticket because I was not invited, apparently.
Apparently, and Mitch, this is an ongoing update. Mitch is live on the scene. The Bustelo machine at this moment, guys, is still down.
Oh, look, I will tell you, there's a couple things that Inter Miami needs to do. One of them is they need to put a second Bustelo stand somewhere else in the stadium. Because for those of us that are in the south stand and we have to get all the way to the west stand to get to the only Bustelo stand, you literally have to walk around the whole stadium because they blocked off a corner of the stadium in which we can't cross through. So we got to make that long-ass walk. And then we make that long-ass walk, and the Bustelo coffee machine isn't working. Like, I really hope they got their shit together. Like, how are you going to have a Bustelo coffee stand and not have a functioning coffee machine? It's ridiculous.
Well, what doesn't make any sense is that this is like the team sponsor. Why don't they have Café Bustelo stands on each side of the stands? Yeah, Mike V, nice one, buddy. Nice one. And yes, Caco, the beef empanadas are pretty trash. I mean, look, I go for the taco stand, I go for the taco truck, and I go for the empanadas. Those are like 1 and 2 right there for me. 1 and 2 for me for sure.
All right. I saw a comment, and I'm sorry, whoever sent it, I lost your name.
I'll see if I can fish for it.
All right, but somebody asked, would you trade Campana for a faster striker? By the way, guys, on Wednesdays, if there's no game on Wednesday, the chat is we're gonna be relying heavy on what you guys have questions and stuff, because honestly, there's not too much to go off. We still got a couple more topics, but if you guys want to ask questions, feel free. So would you trade Campana for a fast striker? Chris, would you?
So you're basically telling me would I trade Campana for Emerson? I would do it.
Shut up. Well, this is the thing, and I was thinking about this the other day. Everybody says bench Suarez and start Campana, right? I have a question for you. When have you seen Campana consistently ball out?
Ooh, that's a tough question, because I know that there has been a little bit of inconsistency with Campana. He'll have like 2 games where he just blasts it, and then he'll be lost for a couple other games. Wow. I don't know, man. I don't know. That's a good question.
Shout out to Justin from Hong Kong. We much appreciated.
Shout out.
I'm assuming that it's got to be early in the morning over there. So shout out for having your morning tea with us. The Campana thing.
Yeah, Sean is saying there was like 4 games stretched last season. Dennis is saying never really.
I remember in the beginning of that Higuain getting bench season, I remember he had a solid like 6 8-game run, and then
Pozuelo
showed up, and then he disappeared. And again, let me preface this by saying I like Campana. I think Campana is capable of it. But why is everybody so quick to give up on Luis Suarez, who has proven in his career that he is a baller? He was the MVP of the Brazilian League literally like 3 months ago, and you're ready to like throw him away for Campana when Campana hasn't shown yet consistently that he can be that guy.
Well, GFR thinks that Campana looks better than Suarez. I mean, yes,
definitely Campapi for sure.
Aesthetically pleasing. He has beautiful hair. He's young. He's not running around like he needs to take a crap. So yes, aesthetically, yes, he is someone that looks better for sure.
Look, I would, for one, yes, I would never trade Campana, at least not this season. But I did bring up that comment because it made me think about it. But this whole Campana, and we have to put him in and bench Suarez. Like, I get it. I like Campana, but I think you're too quick to give up on Luis Suarez and throw in Campana when Campana hasn't shown you consistently that he is a baller. So, like, maybe if Campana, every time he got on the pitch, he was scoring or an assist or just making great plays. But what did he do? And I get it. I know what people are going to say. Oh, but he hasn't had a lot of time to be on the pitch. So, Matt, Matt, you're talking to me. I'll trade Messi for Cucho. All right. So, Campana, what did he do last game? He had a chance at a strike, at a shot on goal. And instead of taking it, he turned around and he passed it into the midfield, which led to a turnover, which led to a counterattack. Am I going to kill him for that? No. But I want to point that out because if Luis Suarez says that, everybody says Luis Suarez is done. That's it. That's what Luis Suarez is done. Yes, I get it. I'm okay. Hyperbolic, guys. Hyperbolic. I'm just joking. I would not trade Messi for Cucho. I'd think about it, but I probably wouldn't pull the trigger.
It's just like how I said in the intro. Everybody at the chat is just straight blazing you. Bang, bang, bang. You're done, Danny. That's it. You're done.
No, but I was joking about the Messi thing, but the Campana thing I am serious about. All right, I am serious about it. I don't get it because I don't think that he showed, and it's not that I don't think that he can. I just don't understand why everybody's so quick to give up on Luis Suarez 2 games into the season for Campana. It's like, relax. And now, if Luis Suarez is performing this way in April, then all right, bet. Like, let's see Campana consistently. But it's been 2 games. Luis Suarez in his first 15 games last year had 4 goals. And he ended the season as the MVP of the league. Now, am I willing to wait 15 games this season? No, he's got to do it a lot quicker. But I do realize that he might take some time to get going. So relax with all this, like, oh, get him, he has to retire or bench him for Campana. Shut the fuck up. No. Campana hasn't showed us consistently that he can do it either.
Well, and Rebellion is mentioning give Suarez time. Joanne is saying it's painful to watch Suarez. Now, that comment right there, I mean, we were listening to Taylor Twellman, and Taylor Twellman mentioned on Twitter like that he's like legitimately concerned for him. I think that as an athlete that dominated in his last league, I think that we can sort of scale back the concern in terms of like his health, because like he wouldn't sign on to another team to play if he was that bad in health.
And I've gone on to like listen to other South American shows, to see what people say about Luis Suarez. They all say he was walking and running like this last season also.
I mean,
like it might be painful to watch. Yes, I get it. But this is how he looked last year also.
Mitch doesn't even want to go to Campana. He wants to bypass Campana and bring in Haitian Holland. I mean, what are we doing here, guys?
I don't mind seeing Borgelin.
The one thing that a lot of people are mentioning is Campana hasn't been given consistent time, which I agree with. I do agree that Campana has not been given consistent time throughout last season.
It's been 2 games. It's been 2 games.
I'm just saying he hasn't been given time either, Campana. Like, think about it. We got Pozuelo, and then Higuain was on a tear. So you never got to see Campana and Pozuelo play together often. We got Messi.
And he just never did well.
now we got Messi, and now we got Suarez, and you're not going to see Campana do too much with Messi. So,
And
like,
good
I
point,
don't know.
great point by Tony Axe. Gremio was desperate to keep Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez was trying to get out of his contract last summer, and Gremio blocked it because Gremio was like, hell no, you're not leaving mid-season. But we could have had him for League's Cup.
Dennis,
it's been a rough day. It's been a rough day.
And Dennis, listen, 2 games. I know it's 2 games. I'm good with giving him time, at least 10 games. When we talked about it in the Spanish show, in the Battered Herons en Español, I mentioned that I think 10 or 15 games was sort of acceptable in terms of being able to see where he's at, reevaluate. And Mike V is mentioning episode 147 equals spicy Danny. So I'm willing to give him time. I'm willing to give Luis Suarez time. I think that all of you guys have to give him time. And then Matt is mentioning Campana's play style is not shooting when needed, especially off the right foot. He's starting to do the Robbie Robinson deal where he doesn't want to shoot from the left.
Last year, off the top of my head, I remember 2 Campana moments. And again, I like Campana, so I hate doing this because everybody's going to think that it sounds like I hate him. But I remember 2 Campana moments. One, the beautiful goal with the sombrero in Atlanta. He kicked it to himself. He hit the upper 90. That was a beautiful goal. The other was a chance to seal the deal in League's Cup. Fast break. 2 chances, misses both of them. He could have gone down in history of this franchise and what we hope is going to be an illustrious history of a franchise, right? He could have gone down as the one that scored that, and that would have been such a memorable moment in this franchise to end the game like that. And he blew it twice. Now he hit the penalty afterwards, but those are the 2 moments that stand out from Campana last year.
Yes.
In all reality, other than that, he didn't do too much. Let me see how many goals he scored last year. Go ahead.
Campana, I think he only scored I think it was 5 or 6 goals last year. I mean, look, Campana, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and knee jerk and say we need Campana to start over Luis Suarez. It's only been 2 games. People do have to give Luis Suarez more time. He did have the brace, Mitch, where I think he had, if I'm not mistaken, I think he had a hat trick.
He played 26 games. He had 9 goals.
Yeah. So he had a hat trick one time where he had a kick off the left foot, kick off the right foot, and a header. I do remember that happened. And Dennis is mentioning that you're spitting facts out here, Danny. And Mr. Krabs, yes. Like I said, you guys got to take it light. It's only been 2 games. Take it easy, lemon squeezies. Come on.
And you know what? And I don't look, for those of you that are saying that Campana should start and then Luis Suarez should come in when everybody else is a little gassed and then he comes in fresh. Yeah. I'm okay with that also. But if they choose to make him start, I'm not hating it either. I get it. I do want Campana to get in there a little earlier. I wouldn't mind him getting 20 to 25 minutes a game. So I was looking back. So at 2022, his first season with us, he had 11 goals. And then last year, he had 9 goals. But last year, he played more minutes than he played the previous year. Ooh. So he was less effective last year than he was the prior year.
And look at this hot take by Kako. We should have kept Joseph Martinez and let Campana go. What do you guys think about that, chat? You guys think that we should have let Campana go and kept Joseph Martinez? I mean, if we would have gotten Joseph Martinez for a Whopper meal, I guess, because we could have been able to sell Campana to another team, probably make big money.
I like Joseph, but once Luis Suarez got here, we couldn't keep all 3 of them. That's impossible.
There's a lot of people disagreeing with you, Kako.
Yeah,
not saying it's a bad possibility. I mean, Joseph Martinez, listen, you guys saw, I don't know if you guys saw the CF Montreal game. He had, I think, 2 opportunities. One was a golden opportunity, Joseph Martinez. I mean, with limited time, of course, he didn't start. He came off the bench, but oof, that was rough to watch.
You know, Montreal's coming here not this week, but next weekend, right?
Oh, man, you think he's going to get that full-blown revenge? You think he's going to do it? I think he's...
Yeah, he did it against Atlanta last year for us.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna
All
be
right.
crazy, son.
So last episode, I was tossing around the idea of the fact that Gregory was cut, and last year everybody was saying that he was our third DP. So I was wondering if that meant that we now had only 2 DPs and we had an open DP spot.
Yeah.
Now, because of the roster rules, I understood that the third DP had to be a young DP in order to keep the U22 initiative players.
Yes.
Which we have like 5 of, but technically 3.
Let's not chill out.
Yeah,
Don't even talk anymore. That's not
technically 3. So
we got like 1.
I reached out to Tom Bogerts, and he confirmed what I was when I started reading the rules. He confirmed that Gregory was bought down last year, so technically there was no third DP, because when you have only 2 DPs, you are allowed to have the 3 U22 spots. Now, if you have a third DP, then it does have to be a U22 initiative. I'm sorry, a young DP? I'm sorry,
a young DP, yes.
But it's either, and there is no clarity yet with the designations of the players, right? Because they're not transparent with it. But either Campana is that third DP, considered a young DP, or we just have that spot open, and that's why we have the 3 young DPs. So all in all, no, we don't have an open slot to sign the third DP this summer, because otherwise we wouldn't have those 3 DPs. And by the way, Money Matt, shout out to him. He also was chiming in the Discord. If you guys aren't part of the Discord, I left the link somewhere up top, and I'll put it again at some point. He also was talking about that today in the Discord. So there you go.
And Money Matt has been pretty concise with his numbers. Like, he literally sent us an Excel spreadsheet that looks like,
he sent me an updated one, but I didn't have a chance to upload it onto the studio. But I might share that tomorrow.
It literally looks like an alien from the movie Independence Day worked on it. I have no idea how to even use that, how to read that. Money Matt, whatever you got, that's Excel. Send it to Danny, bro. Get that out of here.
That's why we call him Money Matt. And he said we could buy down Campana. We have the game. Yeah, for sure. And then I'll send out the Discord link one more time.
Yeah, and Mitch is probably asking to share the Excel in the Discord.
Share it in the Discord. Okay.
Yeah. We got to get Money Matthews permission for that, because we don't know if you put formulas or like locked in key codes or whatever. So,
all right. So I just wanted to put the extra DP spot, so it looks like we're set with our DPs for this season. All right, now let's look into the upcoming schedule. So we have coming up.
Drop it.
All right, awesome. Coming up, we have Orlando on Saturday. Then on March 6th, Nashville, I believe, is currently playing their second leg of their game against Mocha. And I would assume Nashville's going to win. So we have Saturday against Orlando at home. Then next Wednesday, we play against Nashville in our first Champions Cup game ever. Then we play against next Sunday against Montreal, and that's a home game. And then 3 days later, on March 13th, another Wednesday, we go ahead and we play against Nashville again at home in the second leg of that Champions Cup game. And then we play again 3 days after that against DC United in DC. So within starting Saturday, within 2 weeks, we will be playing 5 games. We have Orlando, Nashville, Montreal, Nashville, and DC United. Within 14 days, we'll be playing 5 games. So that led me to believe that there will be a heavy rotation in the lineup, I would assume. So, Chris, I know we do predictions and whatnot, but I'm kind of curious as to what you have to say and what the chat has to say, so they could chime in. What do you think things are going to look like in the next 5 weeks? What players do you think we're just going to be surprised that they're getting so many minutes? And what players are we going to see a lot less of?
I think surprisingly, you're going to start to see Busquets' numbers dwindle down a bit. And that's somebody that surprisingly was playing a lot of minutes, especially once we obtained him. And like I said, I think that Busquets, he's still affected by some sort of injury or something. Also we have, you said, look at that. Banny is mentioning 5 games in 14 days. This is illegal. Justin chiming in with another power bomb here. And that's they keep Campana because of the 3 young 20. I mean, he's going to see somebody that's going to have some. He's going to be someone that's going to get a lot of time too.
Well, and just to clarify real quick with what Justin said, yes, that's why I originally thought they were keeping Campana. But if you have that 30 DP spot open, you also can have those 3 U22 players.
And Esteban is mentioning a rotated lineup versus Orlando. I mean,
I don't think so. I'm gonna put that schedule back up. If you look and if you're on video, you're looking at the calendar I put up here. You see up top March 2nd, Orlando. I think that we have a full squad for that game, and maybe Luis Suarez maybe doesn't get the full game, maybe Sergio Busquets. But I think because it's a Saturday game and they have 4 days in between that game and 3 days in between that game and in the Nashville game, I do think that we see a strong squad in Orlando. But I think that Nashville is the priority. We're going to have a full squad for Nashville. I think the game that gets sacrificed here is probably Montreal and possibly DC United. I think that those 2 games are going to get sacrificed, and we're going to see a heavy rotation for those 2 games, possibly a B squad for one of them. That Montreal game, if you're looking to go watch Inter Miami for the cheap, because there's not going to be a lot of stars playing, I think that's going to be the game. I mean, maybe Messi plays, but I think that it's going to be really. You're not going to recognize that team that plays against Montreal, in my opinion.
And Pablo is mentioning if Hani Mukhtar isn't playing, it may affect who we play. I also agree with that too.
No, we got to win.
Yeah, I mean, we do have to win, but at the same time, they're just going to hunker down and park the bus, right? Like they're not scoring more than 1 goal that game. That's not going to happen without Hani Mukhtar. Exactly.
No, they play that low block. That's not their style.
Yeah. So, and then Richard Greenberg is mentioning get the points at home, B team on the road.
No, I wouldn't play because we're playing on the road first. I'd go for the win, and settle for a draw. Go for the win, settle for a draw, and then you come back home, and then you got that home field advantage. But yes, we host the second leg, so that first game is in Nashville.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think that, like I said, Busquets is probably going to get less time. I think Campana is going to get more time, and it's going to be in. No, you're asking me in terms of like the next couple games, right?
Okay, yeah. Well, yeah.
So, and depending on how Gressel plays, I'd like to see what happens to his minutes, because if he really starts to sort of decline, I don't want to see him play more.
Gressel's going to play. If there's a game that Messi rests, for example, Gressel's going to start at right wing.
I can't believe we're looking at Gressel like if he's the Messi backup.
But you can't look at it like that. He's just the backup.
Look at what you just did.
There's a backup just because it's not called the Messi backup. It's just the backup.
I don't like the Messi backup.
You're never going to like the Messi backup because nobody could ever measure up to Messi.
I mean, Emerson, Robert Taylor.
Robert Taylor plays the left wing.
No.
I know. All right. So those are the next 5 games. And it's going to be a tough 5 games because from March 2nd to March 16th, we got 5 games. So heavy rotation. Now, we got Orlando City. Now, we're going to preview Orlando tomorrow with our guest, Alex. But before we do, because we usually spend so much time talking about the opposing team, I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on what you think's happening on Saturday. Do you think we're going to roll out the same exact starting 11 that we have the first 2 games of the season?
I think if it ain't broke, don't go around trying to fix it. We've been doing pretty well. It
looked kind of broken in LA.
I mean, but then we it didn't look broken against Real Salt Lake. It looked shook up in LA, but we molded into the game little by little. I think if there's going to be any changes that are going to be made, let's say Redondo fixes his issues, which I don't think that's going to happen. Obviously you're bringing Redondo.
We don't know if Redondo's going to play. We don't know if he's going to get his visa on time.
No, of course not. And Pablo Golazo's siding with you. He's saying it's broke.
How many? We've played 4 halves so far, right? Yeah. 2 games, 4 halves so far. Out of the 4 halves, I think there's been 1 good one. The first half in the RSL game. Oh, look, there
you mentioned that right as Sean Callahan typed in. It
go.
looks broken over the last 3 halves.
I like the way you think, Sean. So out of those 4 halves that we've played so far this season, there's been one good half, which was the first half against Real Salt Lake. Everybody said that we did not look good the second half of the Real Salt Lake game. And if for any of you that listen to the Spanish show, Battered Herons en Español, Solana and I were going back and forth because I think they looked like crap and they got dominated that game against LA. He thought otherwise. I'm curious to see if anybody else in the chat thought that they didn't look bad. I thought that they were dominated because maybe they didn't score a bunch of goals, but it wasn't because of lack of opportunities, because they were getting chances. So I think that I was about to say Real Salt Lake. I think Inter Miami did not look good.
And Hammy is saying basically that I said it's not broken, it's just not put together. I mean, it's still you could serve some food on that plate.
And Matthew's saying
leaking.
Tata is trying to create a poor man's Lisandro Martinez with Noah Allen. But
I could see
Lisandro
that.
Martinez is considered one of the best center backs in the EPL. He's playing with Manchester United right now.
But isn't he like more of like a pushing up, like offensive minded center back? I guess I don't know.
Well, that's why you would put an undersized center back there.
Yeah.
To take advantage of their speed and their ability.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I mean, look, do I think that they played the best? I don't think so. I think this is the shades of the beginning of the season. Would I tinker with the lineup? I would tinker with the lineup, but at the same time, do you think that Tata's going to take the chance of tinkering with a lineup that really hasn't lost a game?
I mean, I think he might. Do I see it coming for this Saturday? Well, because who's healthy enough to start over one of the current starters?
Let's take a look at the lineup. Let's take a look at the starting lineup here. So we're going to bring it up on the video for those of you on audio. We put up the starting lineup of the last game. What changes would you make to this? And those of you in the chat, let us know what you would make.
The only change I would make if Redondo is healthy. Well, actually, even if Redondo's not healthy, I'm benching Gressel. I'm either putting David Ruiz there or Redondo in for Gressel in the midfield. And I personally would want to see Noah Allen over Christoph.
But Christoph hasn't played bad. Christoph hasn't been bad. He hasn't been great. But if you're thinking about bringing Noah Allen in, then that means that Noah Allen has to have shown you something that's like spectacularly more than mediocre. Because essentially that's what Christoph's been doing. He's not great. He's not bad. He's been doing all right.
And Solana is chiming in here that Fray might start for Christoph. Yeah, maybe Fray finally gets in, but I still would rather see Noah Allen over Fray also. How did we get dominated against the Galaxy? Because we were getting beat on the counter, as usual.
Yeah.
No? And what did we have? We had Busquets running back trying to defend and pulling guys down by the shoulder.
Yeah.
So what do we need back there? We need speed.
Mota might see the field, baby. Over under on field goal kicks. 4?
No.
What do you think? Too much? 2? 2.5?
I want David Ruiz in there. I want David Ruiz in there over Gressel. And if Redondo's available, I want Redondo in there to fill out that midfield. And I want to see Noah Allen get some time there, man. I know Freire is gonna get the start if he's healthy. 100%. I understand that. But I kind of like what I saw from Noah Allen.
Look at this comment by Solana. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I like this. He says he wants to see Alba for Taylor and Allen at left back. That's kind of like what we're waiting for.
And we've been talking about this because we feel like Jordi Alba, he's most useful on the offensive end.
Yeah.
So why not just keep him up there? But that's the discussion we had with Negri also.
Yes. And people like Noah Allen, look, there's people that are starting to say, there's a lot of people that Noah Allen is starting to grow on people. So I think that Noah Allen's been playing well. Do I want to see him play left back behind Jordi Alba? I mean, maybe because they alternate with each other often, but other than that, I don't know.
Oh, Hammy said, love you guys. Bring more guests to the Lions Den. I appreciate the support. Hammy, you were one of the culprits last episode.
Yes. You were one of like the 5 or 6.
You were being ultra disrespectful, so please be nice to our guests. We want people to come back.
We do want to have fun with them. So if like we mentioned earlier, if it's Tommy one time and we feel like people are getting out of the box, we're gonna 145 them and that's it.
All right. So I think we have basically covered most things we're gonna cover. I honestly didn't think we were gonna go an hour. But much appreciated to the chat for helping us get through this hour because it's been a tough day. So it's been a fun hour. We appreciate you guys.
Yes.
Anything else that you want to cover, Chris?
Listen, I can't wait to get in the lion's den with a lion or like a cub tomorrow. Right?
Actually, one more thing, Chris. I missed this last thing. Chris has been kicking around the idea of new battered questions with Mr. Don Cafecito, Steve Munoz. I haven't seen him in the chat today. So I don't know if you want to go over it or you want to wait till tomorrow.
I think we should wait till tomorrow. You talking about the bacon, eggs, and coffee thing?
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, this picture right here, where we're picking what we're doing here in terms of bacon, eggs, and coffee. I mean, I guess we could ask the chat what they would pick here. I mean, let's start with you and I, and then the chat can just flood in their comments. So for those of you on audio, there's 6 choices of bacon, 4 choices of egg, and 4 choices of coffee. I'll let you pick, Danny. What are you going with here?
So real quick, something that I didn't expect in the Discord was people helping us out with stuff like this. So shout out to everybody in the Discord. We had a fun conversation about this. But just real quick, what is that coffee on the bottom?
Yeah, that's coffee. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going 3 on the coffee. I'm going 3 on the egg, and unpopular choice. I don't like bacon, so none of the ones on top.
Yeah, for those of you that, I don't know. Thank you, Thomas, for the super sticker. And for those of you that don't know, Danny is absolutely abnormal. Doesn't like bacon. For those of you that gives you guys the right.
Thank you, Money Matt.
In the chat.
Thank you, Money Matt. Money Matt's with me. Bacon is disgusting. Thank you.
Are you you're awful.
You're basically just licking a pig's skin.
If you don't like bacon, chat, you need to step yourself out of here. Danny, you need to step yourself out of here. So I would pick. I'm gonna tell you what bacon I would choose. I choose like 5. I love my bacon crispy. I might go 6. I might go 6 on the bacon, and I'll go 2 on the egg.
Look at that. Here we go, Karen. Thank you, Karen. You see, you son of a bitch, making me feel like shit. Everybody's with me. Sausage over bacon, yes. Chorizo over bacon.
Yeah, I don't know. Turkey bacon slaps. I agree with that. Turkey bacon is good. Yes.
No, but Messi does not like bacon. That's bullshit. I don't believe that 1 second.
Well, I'm going 5 on the bacon. I'll go like 2 or 3 with the eggs. I'll probably go with like 2. And then with the coffee, I'll just go 4, I guess.
You know what? You know what is good?
As a matter question.
You know what is good? Turkey bacon.
Turkey bacon is good. Somebody mentioned here that turkey bacon is better than that. So
yes, turkey bacon is better than actual bacon. So 100%, I am with turkey bacon. Yep, there you go. So I don't like bacon. Look at Clara. Look, yo, thank you, people. And
for those of you who don't like bacon, like, what are you doing with your whole life, with your whole existence?
And I'm not a big coffee person either. I started drinking it recently, but I'm not big on coffee.
But that's it. I'm ready. Right. I'm ready to fire that one off. If you guys got like better ones, please let us know in the Discord. Yeah, let us know in the Discord, and you know we'll run it up the table and see if we could premiere it. So yeah, man, I love those kind of things. You know, we get to know people past soccer and Messi and stuff. So
yeah, chicharrones is different. I get it. I understand where the similarity is, but it's different. When you have that in a bandeja paisa, it's just different.
It is.
Give me whatever. Maybe I sounded particularly critical. All right, Chris, any final words before we head out of here? We ended up going over an hour. 100% did not expect this, but
yeah. Well, no, that's about it, man. I mean, look, I'm ready for tomorrow. We're gonna talk with Alex to go over the Orlando City crappy team.
Remember,
And
no
then,
145 in him.
Yeah, don't 145 them, guys. Let's be nice. Let's make up for a last one, okay? Let's make up and double down on the niceness. Make him like a wish.
I mean, it's so hard because he's an Orlando fan. Like, what a
wish
time.
Simba. He's a wish Simba.
Hmm.
So yeah, man, good to go. Tomorrow we'll have our guest, and then this Saturday we're gonna have our game. It's gonna be phenomenal. I can't wait.
And shout out to Esteban. I believe you were the one that told me about the spattered Heron jersey. I did. I wore it right after I got it a couple episodes ago. I did get it, so appreciate you for telling me about it.
This is a good one, but that is. I'm sorry, Danny. I stepped all over you.
All good. All right, and then the tres leches flan or arroz con leche. Arroz con leche is
but that's like more of a Hispanic sort of question. Like, I'll answer that question for you. I'll tell you it's flan every day, all day.
Nah, it's arroz con leche for me.
Oh my God, you're awful. Just end the show, man. Get out of here. You don't like bacon. You like terrible dessert. Get out of here.
Well, again, we appreciate you guys. If you're listening on audio, thank you for listening all the way to the end. Please leave us 5-star, comment, review, all that other good stuff. If you are watching on YouTube, thank you for watching all the way. Please like, subscribe, all that other good stuff. Share it, tell your friends. And if you are part of the comment section watching us live, we appreciate you guys joining in on us. Make sure you join the Discord, and we can have these conversations about these silly things popping up in the chat right now. We love having those silly conversations. And thank you for joining us for the last hour. I needed it. Today was a rough day. So appreciate you guys. And until the next one, have a good one.